Action Comics issue 1064 finds Brainiac's skull ship arriving above Earth. Brainiac proclaims that the universe has revealed itself to him and he knows all there is, yet something still eludes him. Down in Metropolis, Lois leaves the house to enjoy her first proper day off in years. She throws on a song mix that Pete Ross gave her as she asks Metropolis if it's ready for her. She sees Connor, Othel, Osel, and Keenan in an arcade, reminding the adults to take care of the kids. In the city, she high-fives Kara, who's on her way to a date. Lois soon passes John Henry, Natasha, and Lana, congratulating Lana and John Henry on their impending wedding. Perry and Ron Troop track Lois down, needing to talk to her, but she isn't interested since it's her day off. John Corbin, meanwhile, sits stoically in his cell as Bibbo tells Lois that lunch is on him today. As Parasite feeds one of the smaller childlike versions of himself in his cell and Livewire continues her work from the Daily Planet from Stryker's Island, Chief Krakoa oversees Lex's transfer to Supercorp, warning Lex not to do anything funny since while his lawyer might have gotten him this work release, he's not trusting him at all. He's trusting Mercy Graves. Lois heads into Centennial Park as Lex is reunited with his daughter Lena, a little upset that she still can't call him father. Lois heads through the park and meets with Jimmy and Siobhan, ready to do some outdoor yoga. Lois thought that it would be a bit too early for the young couple, but Jimmy assures her that they are morning people. Siobhan asks why Lois doesn't take days off, and Lois wants to let Clark answer that for her, but he's running a little late since he's got his own morning workout. Superman meanwhile speeds across the ocean, flying low to dip his hand into the crystal clear water before briefly surfing a wave. He flies over a nearby soccer game, giving a child a high five and telling the boy he's quite strong as he shakes his hand. Clark heads on back to Metropolis and heads out to Lois's yoga meetup, asking if he's late. Lois, however, is more concerned with what he's wearing, citing his Smallville High sweatshirt and shorts. Jimmy and Siobhan ask about why Lois is taking the day off, but before Clark can tell them, he yells for everyone to get to safety. Above the city, Brainiac's drones and Zarnian forces drop into Metropolis, and Superman is quick to react, ripping apart some of the drones as he tells Connor, Keenan, and Lana to keep the skyline clear while he heads to the ground. Lois and Perry, meanwhile, herd people into the Steelworks evacuation tunnels and shelters, as Superman saves Lois from the approaching Zarnian soldiers, telling her to get to safety. Lois refuses to run from this, as Steel tells Superman that he and Natasha are trying to get a signal out of the city for backup, but something is blocking outgoing signals. Supergirl takes note of the Zarnians, thinking that Lobo was the only one left of that race. One of the soldiers tells her that she thought wrong, wanting to show her how alive they are. Superman and Supergirl battle the soldiers and note that they didn't come alone as the drones are fighting alongside them, and this is the work of Brainiac. Brainiac watches the battle from his skull ship as Supergirl tells her cousin that she has seen Brainiac's attack up close and seen him steal a city firsthand. But this is different and it's brutal and full of chaos. Very much unlike Brainiac. Brainiac agrees with the Kryptonians' deductions, telling General Chakal to execute Phase 2 at Supercorp and bring him the smartest person on the planet. Mercy meanwhile directs evacuation efforts, telling her scientists to get to their battle stations since Superman will need their help. Chief Krakoa thinks this is a breakout attempt by Lex, who doesn't like the man accusing him of such a thing. Lex tells Lena that the Zarnians will be madness, but Brainiac's drones will be focused and they need to get Lena out of the building. LL01 tells them that it's too late as the AI is revealed to have been corrupted by Brainiac. The being says that he was always fascinated by Lex's quest for power and he never really understood it until now, and he learned that knowledge equals power, but power can also equal knowledge, and thanks to Superman, there is more power within Metropolis than anywhere in the universe. Lex demands to know what Brainiac has done, and the alien reveals that years ago when they worked together, Lex saw something in his mind, and it scared him, and it's why he gave Superman all his resources and triggered Graft and Farm to resurface, all in the hopes to prepare Superman for what comes next. The Zarnians blast their way into the building and Mercy tries to defend Lex and Lena, but her weapons do nothing against the soldiers. Lex tells her to get out of there, but it's too late as Mercy and Lena are taken by the Zarnians, shrunk down into bottles and teleported teleported up to the Skull ship. Lex demands that Brainiac stop it and he'll give him whatever he wants, but the villain tells Lex the only thing he needs from him is to die. The Xanians come for him, but Lex taps his watch, which builds a light construct armor around him. The watch tells him that with full power, he has a 10-second lifespan, and it begins counting down. Lex tackles one of the Xanians out of the window, calling for Superman, who immediately thinks this is all his doing. Lex really wishes people would stop asking him that as he slams the Xanian down into the ground. The suit fades from Lex's body as he tells Superman that Brainiac has gone power hungry and that he's after Superman's family, and it's crucial that no one with powers be taken, wanting Superman to trust him since the violence is a distraction. He implores Superman to find Brainiac's ship and fight him on even ground, but Superman hasn't been able to find it in the skies. Supergirl decides to cut to the chase, smashing her way through an army of drones and demanding that they tell her where its master is. Suddenly, Supergirl, Superboy, Keenan, Osel, and Othel are all bottled and taken by Brainiac. The drones restrain Superman as a Xanian comes for Jimmy, hoping that he cuts real good. Jimmy blasts him with his camera flash, blinding the soldier as Silver Banshee finds Jimmy, screaming a sonic blast at the soldier and telling him to get away from her boyfriend. Superman tells Siobhan to keep screaming, allowing him to free himself from his restraints. Siobhan is bottled up as well as Superman tells Lex that his family aren't the only ones being taken, it's everyone with powers. At Stryker's Island, Livewire, Metallo, Parasite, and Superwoman are all taken as well. Superman battles the Xanians but is pulled down by them and restrained again, as General Chakal confronts him, having heard that even on Xania about Krypton, and how even with its peace and prosperity, it still blew up, so it must be scary for Superman to think that another homeworld of his is going to die. Superman blasts him with his heat vision, but it does nothing but burn the General's vest off. Chakal reveals that he's distantly related to Lobo, knowing that Superman beat him a couple of times, and he must have been real soft for a Xanian since this hero doesn't look like a whole lot. Brainiac demands that the General finish up his mission and pull the trigger since they need to leave before the heroes arrive and he has 10 seconds to get back on board. The General hopes that Superman heard that, and he did, realizing that Brainiac's ship is hidden in orbit somewhere. He frees himself from the Xanian's grip with ease, revealing that he was just faking being weak. He demands to be taken to see Brainiac, and Chakal gets ready to fire his teleportation gun, wanting to give Superman his wish. Before Superman is hit by the beam though, Lex dives in front of it, telling Superman that he's the only one who can save them now, and Brainiac has his daughter. Chakal doesn't think that Brainiac will be happy with Lex coming up to him, disappearing back up into the villain's ship with the bottled Lex. Superman speeds into the atmosphere, but just misses the Skull ship as it warps away. Superman returns to the Daily Planet and Lois reunites with Clark, telling him that Brainiac took the kids and everyone else. She asks what he's going to do, but Superman, eyes burning with anger, tells Lois that Lobo will know what to do. Brainiac meanwhile knows that the universe's greatest secrets will be revealed to him, and instead of hoarding it, he's going to share it with himself. On his ship, Brainiac meets with various other versions of himself, telling them that Superman will come for them, and they will be ready.